Hey everybody, it's Emma. Emma, Bobema, Banana, Fana, Fofema, B5, Fofin, something. Emma. This past week was my ovulation week, my O week. O for ovulation, not something else. Since I was gonna say since this is, and I said since this is. Great. Now I'm not gonna be able to say that without laughing. This is cycle number 3 for TTC. Okay, there. I just kind of want to talk about symptoms and the things I felt and what I noticed. So let us begin, shall we? I have an app that I use to track, and I think I'm going to talk about that in a separate video because I don't want to, that's too much like going off the topic. So I use a app tracker. Actually, I use 2, and I will say that one of them told me that I was going to ovulate on the 6th according to my period and everything. It calculates that, and then it says this is based off of a 14-day, like if you're gonna ovulate on the 14th day. However, not all people ovulate on the 14th day. It's not uncommon to not ovulate exactly halfway between your period, between both periods. So the 6th would have been, sorry, I'm looking at my calculator. No, not my calculator. Calculators are numbers, weirdo. I'm looking at my calendar. So the 6th would have been Wednesday, but I noticed that on the 4th and 5th, which was Monday and Tuesday, last Monday and last Tuesday, that my cervical mucus, otherwise henceforth known as CM, was still like sticky or kind of like dry, not completely dry, but like sticky-ish, which is not how it's supposed to be leading up to ovulation. And I know from last month that it gets watery before I get the egg white cervical mucus, so I knew that something was not right about this app. Oops, that it could be wrong. On the 4th and 5th, yeah, I did not have anything. I wasn't noticing anything. Well, then the 6th came, the day that I was actually supposed to ovulate according to this thing, and I noticed that on the 6th is the day that I began to feel like cramping, which I have always been able to feel ovulation cramps. So I always get that pain on one side. I know I've read that some people can feel it and some people can't. So I don't know if you're one that can feel it, but it is a pain in the butt. Because don't I already get enough? Don't I already have to suffer enough through period cramps? And then I also have to feel ovulation cramps too. And it's like this really sharp pain on one side. You can feel it on the left or right side. So I was noticing that I felt it on my left side. On the 6th, I began to feel that, and then towards the I believe on the 5th. Okay, so that was the 6th. Okay, hold up. This is getting confusing. Hold on. So the 5th, I started to notice it getting a little bit more watery. Like my CM was getting a little bit more watery, which is the second most fertile. Did y'all hear that? I said fertile. Whatever. And the 6th came, and it was towards the second half of the day, so the afternoon, evening, I noticed egg white cervical mucus and cramping. Egg white cervical mucus is supposed to come before you ovulate, so it's a sign that it's coming. So I knew that thing was wrong, the app was wrong, because it told me that I was supposed to ovulate on the 6th, which didn't make sense because I was barely getting cramps that day and barely noticing the EWCM. I'm gonna call it EWCM. egg white cervical mucus. So, and then, so I had that Wednesday, which was the 6th, and Thursday, which was the 7th. So I had that those 2 days, and we did BD. We did do the baby dance. Got it on, getting jiggy with it. So we did that. So I'm guessing or assuming that I probably ovulated on the 8th. I kind of wish now that I would have been doing... What was that? I wish that I would have been doing the OPKs this month, which is the ovulation predictor kit. I did not. I did it last month, and I didn't do it this month, and now I kind of wish I would have at least done, like, for 2 days before, like, I don't know, maybe the 5th and 6th, I wish I would have done it, but alas, I did not. I noticed that I'm not sure exactly what it is or what is going on, but the very first cycle that me and Josh were trying, I noticed that I started getting, like, really bad, like, pulling, almost, like, in my whole, it felt like my whole uterus, so not just, like, ovulation cramping. This was different. So, and it was, like, after ovulation, so kind of, like, during the 2-week wait, it was, like, a lot of pulling and stretching and almost like I was going to start my period. Like, it was cramping like that feeling of, oh, my period's coming, but it was way too early for that. So it was really confusing, and I didn't know what it was, and I was trying to, like, look up what it was, and I found that it could possibly, because you know that semen does contain a hormone that induces labor. That's why they tell you, you know, if you're trying to induce labor naturally, you could try to have sex because that can induce labor. Well, the hormone that's in semen, which it starts with a P, I forgot. One moment, please. It is called, drumroll, prostaglandins. I don't know if I said that right. I apologize if that is wrong. But that is the hormone that is in semen or sperm, whatever. Probably semen, not sperm. I don't know. One of them. I'm not a doctor here. Just Googling. Dr. Google here. That is what is in sperm that induces labor. So I wasn't sure if that, because the first cycle, this was the first time that I'd ever had that much, you know, that's supposed to be a sperm. I didn't know if that's because that's the first time I'd ever had that much, like, going on inside there. That's the most time that I'd ever had unprotected intercourse. And it was like, whoa, I didn't know if that's why. So the second cycle, I didn't have all that stretching and everything. So I assumed, I was like, okay, maybe that's what it was. I just wasn't used to it. But then it was so interesting because this past, just a couple days ago, so if I ovulated, let's say Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, I was feeling kind of that same, like I'm going to start my period, but it's not going to happen because it's way too early. And then, like, kind of that pulling, I don't know, like someone's, like, stretching this whole uterus down here. I mean, it's kind of gone away now. I would say, let's say if I ovulated Friday, we'll say I'm 3 DPO, which is 3 days past ovulation at this point. So it's kind of stopped, but I didn't feel that at all last cycle. I have had cysts before, but I've had a cyst. The last time I had a cyst, it was like 2 years ago when it was like really bad, like it ruptured, and I had to go to the hospital, and it was bad. I was like in so much pain. Me and Josh met with the midwife and kind of talked about like that we're starting to try, and they did like a checkup and everything. She was just saying that she wasn't worried about the fact that I had a cyst ruptured 2 years ago, so she doesn't see any concern. It's not something that's been consistently happening because cysts are very common. That helps me think. Cysts are very common. So I'm not sure exactly what that is, if it is cyst rupturing. I don't know. I'm not sure. So I just wanted to kind of talk about that and how ovulation week went, and that I did have egg white cervical mucus, and I did have a decent amount, so that made me happy because I've still been taking the evening primrose oil twice a day. It's about 3,000 mg, is that micrograms? I don't know, whatever. So 3 capsules twice a day. So I've still been doing that, and this is the second month in a row that I have had egg white cervical mucus. So yay for cervical mucus! That's so exciting. Another weird thing that I thought was so sorry, hold on, my hair. To start, I got a text from my mom, and if you follow us on our vlogs and everything, you kind of know that I don't have like the greatest relationship with my mom. We don't talk all the time. I mean, I still love her and everything, but we don't really have the greatest relationship. So it was really out of nowhere, out of the blue, so to speak, that she texted me, and she was telling me that she said, "Are you pregnant yet?" And I said, or she's like, "Any babies yet?" or something like that. And I was like, "No, not yet, still trying." And she was like, "Well, don't try too hard and don't stress yourself out because the baby's gonna come and it's going to be a boy, and I had a dream that this is gonna happen." And I was just like, wow, it was just really interesting. I mean, I don't know how much how much I want to bet on that for it to happen. Like, if I don't get pregnant, like, oh no, I mean, that's not, I don't know. I just thought it was really interesting. So I guess I'll take that as I will, take it with a grain of salt, so to speak. But like, out of nowhere, and for the fact for it to be like at my fertile time, and the thing is too with my mom, like, she's had dreams, or I don't know, we'll call it mother's intuition, if you will, before about things, and then they ended up being right. Like, if I'm not pregnant this month, I'm not gonna be like, oh, forget I'm never gonna believe in anything again. Like, no, I'm not. It's not that. It's just I just thought that was really weird. So she said it would happen soon, so that may or may not happen this month, and that's okay, and we'll see. And she said that yeah, just don't stress out too much because it's gonna happen soon. I've seen it. That's what she said. And she can't wait to hold him. So wouldn't that be crazy? Wouldn't that be like so weird if we end up like having a boy? That would be weird. That's really all I want to share with y'all today, and thank you so much for watching, and please thumbs up this video if you liked it, and leave a comment down below, and leave some questions if you have any, and we'll see if I can answer them or at least talk about something. And let me know if you have any parents or grandparents who have sort of had that intuition and then they end up being right, or maybe they knew you were pregnant before you knew you were pregnant. That would be crazy. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all again soon. And what did I say last time? Baby dust, fairy baby sprinkle dust to all, and